People ask all the time, how much money should I save? Well, I'm going to tell you how to save 10% of your money because that is the law. The first law of wealth says you need to save 1/10 of the money you make. Have you ever heard the statistic that more than half of all Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency? Think about that. Not only that, 73% of all the people in this country say that finances are the #1 cause of stress. Do you see a problem with that? We live in the greatest country on earth, the land of opportunity. How is it that that can be the statistics for a country like this? So let's get into it. My name's Chris Naugle, and I'm here to help you become your own bank. Why should you save 10%? Well, let me get into the why. If you go all the way back to the times of Babylon, we're going before Jesus Christ. There was the wealthiest man in Babylon. You've probably read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And one of the things he taught is how he became wealthy. That was the difference of back then versus today. We've lost the wealth transfer over time. Because just like the game telephone, right? You've played that before. The translation gets lost the more times it goes from generation to generation. Well, over time, we've literally lost the art of saving money because back in the times of Babylon, the richest man in Babylon said the first rule of prosperity, get it right on how he said it, is you must save 1/10 of the money you earn. So why did things change from then till now? Is that really any different than today in 2022? It's not. The first thing you must do in 2022 is pay yourself first. But we've stopped doing that. We started thinking we must pay our creditors, our expenses, our debtors first. We have taken the back seat when we are the ones that really need to focus on this first law of wealth, and that's 10%. So figure out how to save, or I like to call keep, 10% of the money you make. And the magnitude of that is simple. For every $10 your household brings in, $1 you keep before paying any bills. So let's talk about the obstacles. What prevents people from saving 10%? Because obviously a lot of people are not saving 10% if they can't afford a $1,000 emergency. Well, there's a lot of things. I like to think the biggest excuse is you. Your excuses. The reasons you make up in your own mind for not being able to save 10%. First off, you've probably overspent. You've gotten too much debt. Debt is the reason people lose it all. But not only that, a lot of people say, I don't make enough. Okay, well, that's still an excuse. I don't mean to be the jerk here, but literally, like if you don't make enough, get a second job. The truth hurts sometimes, but that's the reality. The people that make it in this world are the people that create the reality for themselves, the people that create the dream or the business or the opportunity. The people that don't make it, the people that can't afford a $1,000 emergency, are the ones that don't want to. They just want things handed to them. They want to conform, and that's not you. You're a creator. The difference between success and failure is creation. Don't ever forget that. So let's create something that will help you along your journey. It's called a budget. Gosh, I know this is like the most elementary thing that you can possibly think of, but a budget is how you're going to save 10%. Because if you don't know where all your money's going and you don't know how much money's coming in, then how can you save 10%? You might be able to do it 1 month or maybe 2 months, but the third month, everything else piles up and you're like, oh, we just can't do it this month. That's a failed plan. So let's start with the fundamental basics of putting together a budget. On one side of a piece of paper, you write down income, and I want you to write down all the income that your household brings in. Total it up and write that number on the bottom. I know you probably know how to do this, but hey, why haven't you? On the other side of the column, I want you to write down all the places your money goes every single month. All those pesky credit cards, those lines of credit, the car payments, the boat payment, all the expenses. But I want you to start with your debts on the top, and then underneath that, I want you to put your household expenses. The food, which has gone up tremendously, the diapers and whatnot, the fuel. Tally all that up, but do 2 separate tallies. How much are you giving away every single month to debts, your monthly payments? And then underneath that, what is your actual expense per month to live the lifestyle you want with your expenses? Now you know. This is what you bring in. This is what goes out the door. What is that number? Down in the comments right now, put that number. And if you don't want people to know, I'd have to ask, why? Are you embarrassed? Well, let's not be embarrassed. Let's be proud of that number. Even if it's a small number or a big number, be proud because that's your life. And we can only do one thing, and that is improve it. And that's what we're going to do now. So the next thing after you did the budget, let's find some lazy assets. Let's find some money that's sitting around, some money that you've just given up control of that isn't making you any money, because you have learned how to work for money. You're a hustler, you're a worker, but there's only 24 hours in the day, and hours are the most valuable asset you have. They're priceless. So why do we always focus all of our time and energy on trading hours for dollars? You should be focusing on trading hours for dollars to basically be able to save the 10%, but the next thing you need to do is make that money go to work for you. So those lazy assets, what are lazy assets? Money just sitting in a savings account. That's pretty darn lazy. That money's doing nothing but making money for the bank. How about your house that you're sitting in right now? This house that I'm in right now has lots of equity in it. Does your house have equity? That equity, if you're not making that money work for you, is lazy. It's literally sitting on your couch, eating your potato chips, drinking your soda, doing nothing every single day. Why? Well, the answer is because you allow it to. So let's get that equity to work. Let's get a home equity line of credit. And then let's figure out how that home equity line of credit money, the equity, can go to work and make a spread just like a bank does. Remember, go back to that budget. Remember your debts. How many of your debts have a higher interest rate than the cost of your home equity line of credit? Well, if we do some simple math, if it costs you 6 to use the money, the equity in your house, and you got a credit card that's 10, what's your spread? 4. You just made 4% for doing nothing. You didn't work any harder for that. You didn't work any longer, and you didn't take on any risk. All you did is made lazy assets go to work for you. And let's get to the last part, because now we've gone through some really important things, but you're probably thinking, well, where should I put that 10%? Because you already said that the bank's the wrong place. The only one making money is the banks. True statement. Actually, banks make 1,300% more than you do. That should wake you up. So where should that 10% go? I got lots of places. You should create your own banking system. That money could go into tips. That money could go into treasuries. That money could go lots of places that involve zero to very little risk. But let me give you a gift to make this super simple. I want to give you a gift called a financial blueprint. That's where a member of my team is going to help you figure out how to save that 10%. And we're going to tell you and guide you to exactly what you should be doing with that, based not on what we think, but based on your needs and your goals that we find out in this blueprint. The link's in the description, so make sure you grab that link, sign up for the financial blueprint, and we will help guide you the right way to make that 10% work for you. Not just today, not tomorrow, but for the rest of your life. And I won't ask you to work any harder, any longer, and I won't ask you to take on any additional risks. Fair enough? So click the link for the financial blueprint. So now that you know that I'm willing to help you and my team's willing to help you, let's just recap those 5 steps. The first step was what we started with. Why should you save 10% of the money you earn? Then we moved on to the second. What are the obstacles that prevent most people from saving 10%? We identified the obstacles and we moved on to the next step, which is 3, your budget. Let's figure out where all your money's going so we can recapture and recycle the money you're just giving away to somebody else, because that's not putting you in a better place. Then number 4, let's locate and identify some lazy assets, some money that's right under your feet that you're not sending to work. And the 5th thing, where should that 10% go? Now, I already told you, we're willing to help you with that process, and it's called the financial blueprint. So if you like this video, then you'll love the next video I'm putting up. It's called the Infinite Banking Concept. So check that video out, because that's more than likely where your money should go first.